that's good. There you go, guys, right there. We're good? All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Cole Pepper with Sporting JAX, and I am welcoming everybody here to a significant announcement of the future of youth soccer in Northeast Florida. In a moment, I'll invite Steve Livingstone, Stephen Mayle, Ricky Kaplan, Sean Bubb, and Tony Allegretti to come to the podium to provide some more details on today's exciting news that has been, and trust me when I say this, years in the making. But before I hand it off to those guys, I'd like to provide some context that will allow everybody to better understand the enormity and significance that today's announcement brings for soccer on the First Coast and beyond. Florida Elite was founded by club president Stephen Mayle in 2014 and built and led by executive director Sean Bubb, and is regarded as one of the most successful youth soccer operations in the country, running all levels of youth player programs from recreational, junior academy, development academy, and competitive programs through USL League 2 for the men and USL W League for the women, which are pre-professional teams. Florida Elite operates its special brand of soccer development across Florida. Its programs have earned accolades and developed hundreds of college scholarships for their players during the last 10 years, with scores of championships across girls and boys teams at all age groups, and placement of dozens of boys and girls in the U.S. men's and women's national team programs. So thanks to Stephen, Sean, the staff, the players, the coaches, definitely to the families, Florida Elite has grown from 800 players 10 years ago to the largest youth soccer club in Florida with over 12,000 registered players and one of the largest and most successful not-for-profit youth soccer clubs in the United States. You can applaud that. Sporting Club JAX, or Sporting JAX, is something of a new kid on the block as we seek to follow in Florida Elite's hugely successful footprints. Sporting JAX was founded in 2020 by local Jacksonville ownership group and named in collaboration with the First Coast community last year. The club's goal is to operate a women's professional USL Super League club, a men's professional USL Championship club, and a USL Youth Academy through work with the city and county authorities. We're also developing a 15,000-seat community stadium and training facilities to host the clubs in Northeast Florida. The ownership group at Sporting JAX is led by Ricky Kaplan and includes sports legends Tim Tebow and Fred Taylor, as well as community innovator Tony Allegretti, who also heads up the Sporting JAX Foundation. Additionally, the club's technical staff is currently led by Mauricio Ruiz, and U.S. women's soccer coaching legend Becky Burley leads Sporting JAX efforts as a consultant on the women's side of the game. Sporting JAX Foundation, Inc. is the charitable arm of Sporting JAX, dedicated to empowering youth through the unifying force of sports and promoting the benefits of soccer in the community it serves. That's directed by Sporting JAX founding member Tony Allegretti and guided by the club's motto, Lift Every Voice. The 501c3 nonprofit is committed to creating opportunities where access to soccer and sport is limited or non-existent, while building stronger, more inclusive communities. Through innovative educational programs, soccer-focused initiatives, and athletic facilities, the foundation strives to build stronger and more inclusive communities while promoting healthy living, building character, and inspiring the next generation to reach their full potential. That was my big speaking part. So with that background, let me ask a Sporting JAX founding member, President and CEO Steve Livingstone to come to the podium.
Yeah, you can take a knee, Cole. Get a breath. Hey, everybody. Great to be here. It's a lovely day to make a big announcement like this, and we're really thrilled. I want to thank Stephen and Sean and everyone at Florida Elite who are hosting us today and have made us feel so welcome, not only today, but in the course of our discussions and our negotiations over the past couple of years. We appreciate you all for coming out. This is a groundbreaking announcement. I've lived here in St. John's County, despite the accent, for the last 20 years now. And over the last 10 years, I think it's become very clear how immense, how great Florida Elite's impact has been on the North Florida community. And that's through great leadership. Florida Elite has been dedicated to hard work and a commitment to excellence over the past decade. What Stephen, Sean, the Board of Governors, the staff, the families here, the players have built is nothing short of spectacular. And that's coming from a perspective of being in professional sport for the last 30 years. What you guys have built here is world class. And, we are truly impressed and respectful of that. I'm honoured to make today's announcement and to share with you that Florida Elite Soccer Academy and Sporting JAX, through our non-profit foundation, Sporting JAX Foundation, will combine forces to create one of the largest youth to pro soccer organisations in the United States, bringing with it tremendous growth and opportunity for girls and boys throughout our Northeast Florida community and beyond. I'm thrilled to share with you that starting in 2025, Florida Elite Soccer Academy will combine operations with Sporting JAX Foundation to continue as a non-profit youth academy serving thousands of families. As we join forces, Florida Elite will evolve its brand identity under a new name, Sporting JAX Youth, in the new year, and will undergo a uniform redesign, but along the lines of what you see here today, that will also involve a new brand identity. The timing of that will be gradual. It will be over the period of the next 6 months, so don't worry, you don't have to go out and buy new kit tomorrow. We love the yellow, and it's going to stay around for a while as we go into the 2025-2026 season. The combined organisations will continue to operate as a not-for-profit entity. I think that's important to stress. But it's our goal to bring our professional expertise to support the growth of the youth clubs both on and off the pitch, with all profits going back to the youth club, obviously. Crucially, this merger creates a genuine pathway to the highest level of professional soccer for boys and girls across our community. Sporting JAX will benefit tremendously from Florida Elite's expertise in youth soccer organisation, talent identification, player development, and bringing even more tournament play to our region that also provides a huge economic uplift for the First Coast. Of course, our plans, as Cole mentioned, also include the development of a new 15,000 capacity stadium, but we also have continuing ambitions to work with the local authorities here in St. John's County, in Clay and in Duval and beyond, to build more ball fields that will ultimately allow more kids the opportunity to play and thrive in the beautiful game. We are incredibly excited that this merger, for the first time, will provide a seamless pathway for our young players to stay and play here in our hometown and represent our cities, our region, our counties at all levels of the soccer ladder, including at the very top in our professional USL Super League and Championship teams. We want to see that progression. In addition, we'll also rebrand Florida Elite's USL League 2 and W League teams to compete in 2025 as Sporting JAX, along with the development of a USL Academy, while also continuing involvement in ECNL and the development of a residential soccer academy in the future. We're excited to get started, and I can't wait to see some of these current Florida Elite players play professionally for Sporting JAX in the years ahead. I'd like to thank Steve and Sean and the Florida Elite Board again for their belief in Sporting JAX and our mission of lifting every voice through soccer. We greatly appreciate all of the work and dedication that you put into building one of the best youth soccer clubs in the country, and we look forward to partnering with you as we continue to grow soccer together in this wonderful community. Now, I'd like to introduce Florida Elite President Stephen Mail to say a few words on behalf of Florida Elite. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. At the last Sporting JAX event, I had to speak after the one and only Tim Tebow. Happy to be following you today. Steve, when I first met you, I realized we spoke the same soccer language, Scottish. I've known you now for 8 years. Your leadership, dedication, and values are the reason we are here today. Thank you, Steve. I am humbled to stand before all of you today. For 10 years, we've talked about Florida Elite being a pathway to the pros. Now we stand at the door. Sporting JAX provides many opportunities for growth. Their support takes us to the next level. Sporting JAX represents opportunity and sustainability. There are a few people I would like to thank who helped pave the pathway. Florida Elite's Executive Board, David Bingy, Jay Alligood, Jerry De La Porta, and Brad Brown. You all shared the vision. None of this could have happened without Florida Elite's dynamic duo, Chris Brunner and Alice Smith. Thank you. In addition, I want to thank our directors of coaches, our coaches, admin team, families, and players, past and present. It's been an extraordinary journey. 20 years ago, I started as a volunteer recreational coach of my 4-year-old daughter's soccer team. This led to my reluctantly becoming president of JYC, Jacksonville Youth Soccer Club. A lot of what I saw in the youth soccer community at that time didn't make sense to me. However, as a volunteer, there was a limit to how much I could do. People told me I had to choose between building a community club or a competitive club. I wondered, why not both? Then, 10 years ago, I met Sean Bubb. Our first meeting lasted 4 hours. We were in a Starbucks. As Sean doesn't drink coffee, I kept ordering to keep the table. In that conversation, Florida Elite was born. No surprise I didn't sleep that night. It was not the soccer. It was the coffee. Sean's experience, track record, and ambition blew me away. We shared a vision of what youth soccer here could look like. It was important for both of us that any child could play, regardless of ability, regardless of financial means. Sporting JAX believes the same. Sean was a proven winner. He'd previously built #1 clubs in the country. Coaches nationwide had voted him the country's top coach. I immediately recognized Sean was the person to implement our shared goals. In the 10 years I've known him, Sean has never disappointed. Coming from the world of hedge funds, I know a lot of hard-working people. Sean, the son of a coal miner, is the hardest working person I know. He is completely dedicated to soccer. Sean lives and breathes the game, which is why Florida Elite is nationally recognized. We've been called the best run club in the country. Sean deserves the credit. As legendary Liverpool coach Bill Shankly said, soccer is a matter of life or death, except more important. Right, Sean? Right, Steve? We are so proud of what our soccer players have achieved over the past 10 years, both on and off the soccer field. Last year, Florida Elite sent an incredible 9 teams to national finals, more than any other club in Florida. When I started, we only had a few teams of high school-age players. Scaling up has resulted in thousands of high schoolers who are currently playing from recreational level to ECNL. We are proud of all of our players. Florida Elite's culture is about giving back to the community. Sporting JAX Foundation shares this commitment. This is why we're all here today. Florida Elite generously supports numerous local nonprofits. Our players give back. Through our soccer tournaments and constant stream of visiting teams, we contribute tens of millions of dollars of economic impact annually. Tens of thousands of players have passed through our program. Many will become future leaders. Many already are. Now, I'm honored to introduce Ricky Kaplan. Ricky, I so admire your commitment to giving back to the First Coast community. You're one of the area's most successful entrepreneurs. You could have focused on your own career. Instead, you have chosen to invest in the next generation. Thank you.
Wow, what a great day. Thank you all for being here. First of all, let me express my personal excitement about today's announcement. I know both Steves, Steve and Steven. That sounds like a podcast or radio show. What do you think, Cole? Both Steves have worked tirelessly to make this a reality. And the fact that we're creating one of the largest youth to pro soccer organizations in the United States through this merger is truly phenomenal. When we founded Sporting JAX, our vision extended far beyond simply establishing two professional soccer clubs. We wanted to make a positive impact in our community. We share the mission with Florida Elite, who have been doing incredible work throughout Northeast Florida for the past 10 years. Through this combination, we will not only continue, but also elevate the outstanding work they have already accomplished through schools, community programs, charitable giving, and scholarship programs. Florida Elite is widely recognized for its charitable contributions and community engagement across our region. Through the Sporting JAX Foundation, we are dedicated to upholding and expanding upon this tradition. This includes providing scholarships, supporting school programs, working with the special needs community, fundraising, and continuing all of the wonderful initiatives that Florida Elite and their families have undertaken in our community. As Stephen mentioned, sports have a unique power to foster teamwork, inclusion, education, and the development of leadership and character. When I look at everything we're doing in Sporting JAX, this is one of the greatest privileges and opportunities. These 12,000 youth that we have phenomenal coaches, and we'll continue to invest in making sure we have the right technical training. But if we can continue to build upon what Florida Elite has done and teach these kids high character, integrity, to love their Lord their God, and love their neighbor, then we'll have hit the mark. That's the biggest opportunity in all of this. As stewards of Sporting JAX, we will take this responsibility seriously. We are committed to building upon the great work done here at Florida Elite to create programs that instill these qualities of service, leadership, and character in our players. Creating the first ever local pathway from youth to professional soccer is a significant milestone for our community. Beyond providing this pathway, we are dedicated to ensuring that all our players emerge from our programs as better individuals and leaders in our community. Through this merger, we are also committed to improving the availability of playing fields across our region. We are already in advanced discussions with a number of local authorities to create the additional fields that will provide opportunities, access, and inclusion for all. These facilities will also generate substantial economic impact for the region. We look forward to continuing the conversations with St. John's, Duval, and Clay counties to make our vision for multi-field sports complexes a reality. Sporting JAX is dedicated to elevating soccer across our entire region. This combination will enable us to support the development of young players and through our extensive international soccer network, bring expertise and advancements from the global soccer community to the First Coast. We are excited to build upon the foundation that Florida Elite has established and are incredibly optimistic about the future of youth soccer and other youth sports in our community. Thank you again for the opportunity. And now I have the opportunity to hand it over to Sean Bubb.
Afternoon, everybody. Ricky, thank you. I forgot my notes, so let's just wing it. So I'm going to speak from the heart. I'm going to speak from experience. And what I can say is this is game-changing for everybody that is here. This is game-changing for the kids, for you as parents, for the families, for the club, for our community, for Northeast Florida, for Florida in general, and I believe potentially for the country as a whole. We will be an example for everybody to follow. I want to thank Ricky, Steve and the staff with Sporting JAX for the work they've done in helping pull this together. We have shared values, we have shared principles, we have a shared desire to make this the best, but doing it the right way, of high ethical and moral standards, both on and off the field, which has been the backbone and the core of Florida Elite from day one, from Stephen drinking 9 cups of coffee and me laughing thinking, this guy's never going to sleep again. So I look at this and I think about this. This is my 36th year of being an executive director in Charlotte, North Carolina, in Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, and now St. John / Jacksonville, Florida. And in that time, I've done 74 mergers, different deals with pro clubs. I've seen many pro clubs with youth clubs implode. We've been talking about this deal for 4 years. This didn't just happen this week. It didn't just happen this morning. These guys have put an enormous amount of thought into this to do the right thing by the kids, by the pro teams, by the community. So when I say this is game-changing, I truly mean that. We as a staff are incredibly excited. From a Florida Elite standpoint, I think the strength of us is we are Florida Elite. We are now Sporting JAX. And we've come to here as a club, and we have a powerful brand. We have a powerful name. That will now serve to go into becoming Sporting JAX, where we'll make it bigger, stronger, faster, and even more powerful, with 2 great organizations and people coming together. Who is going to benefit? The players, the community. So I want to thank Stephen. A lot of you don't realize the time, the effort this man has put in over the last 10 years and beyond. His wife, Andrea, who is here, she's kind of an unsung hero. The time she's missed on anniversaries, birthdays, all things like that, because he's been dedicated to your kids, to our coaches, to building this club, to building the brand that has become iconic around the country and the colors in Florida Elite. So, Steve and Andrea, without you, this would never have happened. Thank you. I want to thank the board of directors, Chris and the admin team. Without them, we wouldn't have built this club both as a successful business off the field as well as successful on the field with the kids. I truly believe our coaching staff is the best in the country. I felt for many years we had the best staff in the state. I truly believe today we have the best staff in the country. We have individuals who are amazing people. The first thing they care about is the child. They care about the kids. They care about the community. They do lots of work in areas and other places that you guys don't see to help less privileged kids have these opportunities. They tirelessly give up their time. So our directors, our staff, my hat goes off to you. You deserve this. You deserve this opportunity. And this, for you, for us, for we, will be game-changing. So thank you for all your efforts. Moving forward, I believe, and again, I've done this many times. I've gone through many mergers with pro clubs, some good, some not so good, in different cities. I truly, honestly believe this will be the standard bearer in years to come for the country to follow, not just in soccer, but in all sports. And today is truly an epic day. I believe one we'll all look back on, one we will never forget. And as one brand, the shirts, which I'm slightly biased about, I absolutely love that kit. I will grow and we will grow to become a part of the new uniform, the new colors, which will be our identity. We will embrace it, we will be proud to wear it, and we will make the colors of Sporting JAX one to be respected, one to be revered, and one to be feared when we're on the field, but also admired for all the qualities we will bring off the field. So I am incredibly proud, and to quote Stephen, incredibly humbled to be part of something that I know is going to be truly, truly great. Thank you, everybody here, for your time. Thank you for making this what it is. It's a phenomenal club, but it's a game-changing opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you all. Oh, that's bright. So I was told to keep it under 30 minutes. Just kidding. So a couple quick things. Really humbled and honored to be able to address you guys. One thing that I don't think we've heard enough or given enough applause today for is the parents. All you guys can clap for your parents. Parents are so important to any club. I know you guys didn't drive here, so it's good to applaud. The access to soccer is really important for the Sporting JAX Foundation. There are way too many kids. Well, let's back up and say so many benefits. Like you see all these healthy kids and all this great energy and all these smiles and all these things to aspire to, but not every kid has access to soccer and all those good things and all those outcomes that team sports bring you. You have better health. You know you have better grades. You know you have better relationships and better friendships. One of the things we're really focused on is making sure that kids all over our area, whether it's rural or urban, get access to this sport, and that's super important to us. Florida Elite obviously does this through scholarship and lots of outreach, but at the Sporting JAX Foundation, we want to add to that. We want to bring some, it's a good word to look up when you get home, lanyap, something extra to that, and make sure that kids have access to all those good outcomes that come with team sports and soccer. I've been asked to only give one James Weldon Johnson story per speech, and so I'll give you this one. When he was 16 years old, he had a mentor and a friend that in the off season, which is the winter, for a baseball team, he had a friend that was a waiter, an African-American guy who played for a Negro League team up north, I think Indianapolis. And this African-American pitcher showed James Weldon Johnson when he was 16 how to throw a curveball. He was the first person in Jacksonville to ever bring the curveball. So he went to Durkeeville Field, and he played against adults, and he struck out 16 batters. This is in his autobiography called Along This Way, which is a really great book. He struck out 16 batters. They won the game. They actually kind of cornered him and said, how did you do that? You know, because it looked like witchcraft. And so he lined up two trees and showed how to sort of bend his wrist and throw it between two trees. And the reason I say that is because had it not been for that waiter in St. Johns County, down in St. Augustine at one of the Flagler hotels, had it not been for that person to show him that, he would have never had that joy. He would have never been able to play baseball at a super high level against adults, strike out 16 batters. We need to find these student athletes that are all over our area that don't have a chance, that don't have a sporting chance, if you will, to be able to get out on the field to play soccer. When I coached at Andrew Jackson, we had to do tryouts on the tennis court. We had 70 kids try out. They all wanted to be there. They all wanted to play soccer. They all wanted to learn and soak it up. And if we didn't have the grass wasn't cut at the Brentwood Library, we'd have to practice on the basketball or the tennis courts. So we need to fix that. We need to get access to fields, access to equipment, and eventually access to all these great pro athletes that we're going to be bringing in so that we can programmatically help these kids in addition to bringing them grass and balls and shin guards and equipment, etc. So I'm humbled, like I said, very excited to work with the Florida Elite family, and we're really excited about the merger. And again, thank you, parents. One last shout out to the staff at Sporting JAX. We have a growing staff, about 10 or 12 people. We've worked really hard. We've got a lot of announcements to follow on this one, and I really am proud to be part of that team, and I'm proud to be part of your team. Thank you. And I'll pass it over to Cole.
All right, I do want to let the families of Florida Elite players know that shortly you'll be getting communication for a town hall meeting to set up, because I'm sure you'll have some questions about what happens going forward. And we'll have that set up for you. You can participate in that and have the questions answered. You probably have some specifics that you'd like to know about going forward with this coming together of these two organizations. Thanks to all of our speakers. Thank you to the media for being here as well. For reporters, we will set up some one-on-ones off to the side as we wrap up here. And we look forward to continuing to take the game of soccer and elevate it on the First Coast with both Florida Elite and Sporting JAX. Thank you, everybody.